Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel to a video that I like to do pretty much every year towards the end of the year, which is an update video, what we know so far, talking about what we know so far about the upcoming Eurovision. And there is quite a lot of information at this time of year that we do know about the next year, especially all about the national finals, who will be taking part in national finals. So that's what I'll be talking about today. Not about every country, that will take a long time, but just about the important things that we know so far. I think we should start off with the fact that we do have our first entry, our first song of the year from Montenegro. And that was what my last video was about. I did a reaction video for all the competitors in Montesong, the national final, and the winner, clickbait. I don't think I paid attention to that much in that reaction, and I don't think anybody really expected that to win. But that is our first entry of the year, clickbait by, is it Neon or Neon Eon? Something like that. Now, I watched the entire national final, the entire show live on YouTube. I think it was like 3 hours long. I didn't intend, I didn't plan to watch it all, but for some reason I did. I watched it on YouTube. I followed along on Twitter, and it's just really funny to me how we watched the whole thing. It was on a random Wednesday night, 3 hours worth of Montenegrin television. Emily de Forest showed up and performed, and she gave her 12 points to clickbait, which I don't think anybody really expected that to happen. And yeah, it's just so funny to me how we were all united on that Wednesday evening of 3 hours worth of Montenegrin television, and it's just so cute and wholesome to me. It's just why I love being in this community, in this fandom. Yeah, it's just really funny to me, but it was quite entertaining, really. I did watch the whole 3 hours of the show, and yeah, fair play to them. Well done. As for the song Clickbait, I mean, it's giving non-qualifier, of course, but I don't hate it. I don't think it's absolutely awful, like the worst thing I've ever heard in my life in the history of the contest. It's not that bad, but it has actually been stuck in my head, I'm not gonna lie. I woke up the next day with clickbait in my head, and even now, like nearly a week on, it does every now and then just pop into my head. I'm like, I'll just be going about my normal day, and then all of a sudden I'll just think, la 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 la, clickbait. Yeah, great. So yeah, that's Montenegro. Probably not going to qualify. It's a bit of fun, it's just, it is what it is. You could call it a guilty pleasure. I think it could be a bit of a guilty pleasure. But yeah, welcome back, Montenegro. And then the other artist that we've known for a while now, that Theo Evans is representing Cyprus. I think people have probably forgotten about that until we actually hear the song, which probably won't be for a while now. But yeah, for now, we have Theo Evans for Cyprus, and we have Neon Eon for Montenegro. As for national finals, there's always so many national finals, but then this year they've got even more, like more than ever before. I mean, it'll get to the point where we'll have like 30 countries, almost all countries, having national finals. And this year we've got some countries that don't usually have them that are now having them. So we've got, well, Greece is one country that are having a national final this year. And I can never remember, as long as long as I've been watching national finals, which is since 2018, not that long. I've never known Greece to have a national final, and I don't think they ever have, actually, have they? Or not for a really, really long time anyway, that most fans can remember. So this is very new for all of us. So this will be interesting. And you've also got Belgium that are having their Euro song again, which they had the year before last for Liverpool. And the lineup has been announced for that as well. I think there's 8 contestants taking part. Also, Armenia are going back to having a national final, and I do remember watching that in 2020. I think that was the last time they had one, and I think they had one in 2018 and 2019 as well, I think. I do vaguely remember that. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, over the past few years, they've gone internal and now they're going back to a national final. But then you've got Czechia, who have been having a national selection for the past few years, but now they're not. They're going internal. So, yeah, lots of national finals. I'm not going to be able to watch all of them, too many to keep up with. And some are better than others, let's face it. But yeah, I'll try and watch and react to as many of them as I can. I can try. I do want to mention Norway's Melody Grand Prix because there's a major change to the format of MGP, really big change. So they're not having any semi-finals at all this year, only one final, one night with 10 songs and no semi-finals at all. And normally they have about 4, even 5 semi-finals. This is really different. This is going to be a really big change because we're so used to being spoon-fed these songs over the course of a month every week, and then we get to the live shows and the semi-finals and then the final. But it's really different this year. I can see why they've done it. I mean, the semi-finals are not always that good. They weren't that good last year, I don't think. And sometimes they have like wild card finals as well, which just makes it all even longer. And in a year of so many national finals, I think it is good to cut things down a little bit. But I mean, I can't imagine Sweden ever doing this. So yeah, I mean, I can see why. I don't mind really because I don't always like long, drawn out national selections that are just too long. But then on the other hand, I think we might kind of miss it because we're so used to all these semi-finals for Norway. But I think it's understandable and it's practical and it does make sense, I think. So yeah, very different. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Do you prefer it this way? Do you think it will be better this way and we didn't even need the semi-finals anyway? Or maybe they're just trying it out for now and they might go back to the usual format next year, who knows? So yeah, that would be something to get used to, but I think it will work out probably. Well, 2 of the biggest events in the calendar of Eurovision are Sweden, Melfest, and Italy, Sanremo. These are 2 really big, popular, I won't call them national finals, especially not Sanremo. I'll call them festivals or events that are part of Eurovision. Well, I can call Melfest a national final because it is technically, but Sanremo, I think people sort of tell you not to call it a national final because it's not really. It's its own thing, its own festival. It's actually older than Eurovision itself. So we won't call it a national selection, but Melfest pretty much is. But they're both very popular and very big events. So we've got the lineups for both of them. So Melfest Well, first of all, I've actually got an announcement to make, a personal announcement. If you follow me on social media, then you'll know this already. But I am actually going to Melfest next year. I've actually got a ticket for the final of Melody Festivalen. And that is something that I never thought I would do. I never thought I would go to Melody Festivalen. I've never been like a major fan. You know that some people are just as much fans of Melfest than they are for Eurovision. I do watch it, I do like it, um, but I never thought I would go. But I am. This year I'm actually going. Because I don't think I'm going to Basel for Eurovision, so it would be good to do something in place as a replacement of not going to actual Eurovision. And to be honest, part of this trip is because of the fact that I've always wanted to go to Stockholm. Stockholm is like really high at the top of my bucket list, so I'm looking forward to just going to Stockholm and exploring the city. But I am looking forward to going to Melfest as well. You know, it'll be something different, it'll be an experience, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I will film, definitely, some kind of vlog, talk about my experience there. Of course, I went to Sweden, to Malmö for Eurovision last year, so I've been to Sweden before for Eurovision, but not to Stockholm and not to Melfest. So this will be something different. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So I thought I'd just mention that first as like a announcement. So with the lineup of Melfest, they always have people come back every single year, which is something we usually complain about. um, and I think the two big names that are back are Måns Zelmerlöw and John Lundvik. And there are a few other returning names as well, like Scarlett, were they in it last year or the year before? Um, Clara, I think, is back. But there's quite a few new names as well. But yeah, Måns Zelmerlöw, I mean, he just appears in pretty much every single Eurovision in some way, every single year. You just can't get rid of him, apart from when it was actually hosted in Sweden. He didn't show up in Malmö at all, but every single other year he appears in some way in Eurovision, and now he's in Melfest again. Um, the song, I mean, we don't know much about it yet, but you know, Heroes is one of those iconic winners of recent years. Not one of my favourites though, personally, um, but it is one of the most memorable winners of the past few years, definitely, no doubt about that. I do like it, you know, I really, really like the staging. That was the best bit about Heroes for me. But I think the problem is with Mong's returning is it just makes you think if he wins for the sake of it, that'll just be boring. Like, we don't want people winning just on name alone. With Loreen, it was different because she did deserve to win Melfest in 2023 because, you know, the staging was amazing. And she went on to win Eurovision again. So, you know, that was fine, that was deserved. But it's just the fact that the song has to be good. You know, he can't just win it because of who he is. He has to have a good song. So I don't know how popular he actually is in Sweden outside of the Eurovision bubble. Maybe the Swedish public won't want him to win again. But yeah, it'll be interesting to hear the song. But I just hope that he doesn't just win it because of who he is, basically. And speaking of returning names, San Remo, there's a lot of them. So I'm filming this today on December the 1st, and the lineup for Sanremo has just been revealed a few hours ago before I started filming, so we know that now. And there are loads of returning artists in Sanremo this year. We've got Francesco Gabbani, Francesca, and Fedez, but not together this time. The Colors, Elodie, Achille Lauro is back, and he tried to represent San Marino a few years ago. Who else? Irama. Um, it's probably more that I can't even remember, but looking at that list of names, there's so many that we recognised that are coming back. Probably even more returning artists than Melfest. It's a shame not to have LRDL or La Rappresentante di Lista because they are on my wish list for Italy. I was a huge fan of Ciao Ciao 2 years ago. I still am. I still love that song. One of my favourite Sanremo songs of all time. And ever since then, I've been waiting for them to come back to Sanremo. And I'd love to have them represent Italy at Eurovision. They haven't come back yet though, they're not back this year, but every year I just want to see them on that list for Sanremo. So hopefully they'll come back one day. But yeah, no LRDL this year. But the Colors, I do like the Colors. I always look forward to them. And it'll be really cool to have them do Eurovision and represent Italy. So yeah, maybe I'll support the Colors this year. But I'm looking forward to hearing everything really. I think the final country I'll talk about for this video is Albania, because we're coming up to that time of year now for Festival i Kingish, or Fik is what a lot of people like to call it. And the final for that is the 22nd of December. So it always happens in the last week or so of December before Christmas. So we will have Albania's entry as well by the end of this year, but they usually do a revamp, or sometimes they do, not always, but yeah, I think these days they usually do a revamp. It's something that I've started to get a bit more into, a bit more interested in over the past few years. I started to watch it properly over the past 2 or 3 years or so, and I'm really starting to enjoy it. And I'm starting to enjoy Albania more in general in Eurovision, to be honest. So I'm looking forward to watching Fik again this year, but especially because Elvana is back. Elvana, not sure how you pronounce his surname, Gata? Elvana Gata? I'm not sure, but you know who I mean. Of course, 2020, the song Mitanga, I absolutely loved. I always have. I still love that song. And yeah, that would be one of my favourite national final songs of all time, actually. And I think it was expected for her to win. And she is a really big name in Albania. So I think all eyes are on her this year to see if she can actually win Fik and go to Eurovision for Albania finally. So I'm really looking forward to this because I loved her song before. I think her song for this year is called Carnival. I think I'll probably do a reaction video just for her song separately in a separate video, and probably some of the others as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So by the end of this month, we'll know Albania's representative for Eurovision. Will it be Elvana or somebody else? We'll find out very soon. So I think I'll leave it there. I didn't mention every country. I forgot to mention Latvia. And Supernova, City Zeni are back in Supernova. Could we see them in Eurovision again? I didn't mention Estonia, Esti Laul, Tommy Cash is in that lineup. That could be interesting. So yeah, I didn't mention everything, but that's a nice roundup of most of the news and the updates that we've had so far. And of course, there'll be loads more videos, reaction videos from me before the new year, actually, probably because I know we've got Albania. I think we've got the Latvian songs as well coming out before Christmas. So yeah, it's not my last video of the year, but it's probably a good time to say thank you for watching all of my videos as always this year, all of my reaction videos and my videos from Malmö at Eurovision. Um, and yeah, thank you for subscribing as always, for liking and commenting and engaging. I'm not quite at 2,000 subscribers yet, but I would like to get to 2,000 hopefully at some point. So yeah, it's been a really fun year this year. Going to Malmö, going to the live semi-final, and then the Amsterdam pre-party was really fun as well. So yeah, looking forward to more of different types of videos in the new year. But thank you all for sticking with me and watching all my videos and commenting. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you for more before the new year. So maybe Albania might be next, or Latvia. Who knows? But you will see me very soon. So thank you for watching. See you then. Bye.